The human race is a vast and varied collection of people and cultures that have endured for thousands of years, changing over time to accommodate and conquer new challenges. However, as different as we are from each other, all humans share the same basic needs for survival. The most important among them, whether we're talking about a person who lives in the city or one who lives deep in some unexplored jungle, is the need to eat. Modern humans in most places don't need to hunt or gather like they did so many years ago, though. Now we just waltz over to a supermarket or grocery store to buy the things we need. Buying food from a store has become something we take for granted, something we hardly ever think about. But where does all this food come from? And more importantly, how do we know what we're buying is real? These questions have become a hot topic over the past few months, with the rise of the rubbery or fake food that has swept across social media. From blueberries to bananas and even fish, these stomach-turning videos are proof positive that we're not getting the full story about the foods we buy and consume. What's going on? What's happening to these foods? How are they getting into our stores? And more importantly, who or what is behind all of this? The answers to those questions and more are about to be revealed. Welcome back. You're watching Conspiracy Vibes, and this is the fake food phenomenon. Back in early June, a mother prepared a healthy snack for her toddler. An innocent bowl of blueberries, full of vitamins, antioxidants, and plenty of other things that are useful for growing children. But when cleaning up after the snack, this mom discovered something wasn't quite right with what she had just served her child. As the garbage disposal chopped up and eviscerated the leftover blueberries, there was a noise, an odd noise. When she investigated, the mother found a single blueberry that seemed impervious to the spinning blades of the garbage disposal. Upon closer inspection, she made a horrifying discovery. The blueberry survived the garbage disposal because it wasn't actually a blueberry. It was made of rubber. The sound of the blueberry bouncing around in the garbage disposal's chamber was enough cause for concern, but it was among the leftovers. Were there other rubber blueberries? Did her toddler consume one? The mom in this nightmare scenario was Ari Osborne, the wife of Jack Osborne. That's right, those Osbornes.
Sharon!
Ari first posted about the event on June 3rd, but she has followed up on the situation a number of times, including this TikTok posted on June 12th that featured the rubbery culprit.
This is so wild that I have to do this, but got a lot of naysayers out there saying that I am faking the whole fake blueberry thing. So here we go. Here's the blueberry. We cut it in half. There's the glistening rubber, the detail on the top, and the detail of all the crumbs underneath my nails. So I was just planting. So deal with that too. Let's see. Stretchy. Everyone's like, oh, stretch it if it really is rubber. Stretchy. I'm like pulling with all of my might. Squishy. But like the glisten, you guys. This is not real. This is not an unripe. This is rubber. Let's take another look at the detail. Like, look at how I can pull it. Alright, enough with this goddamn blueberry. It's fake. I found it. I'm not going to put my toddler at risk for views, so.
Ari's upload set off the alarm bells at Conspiracy Vibes HQ, and as we began digging deeper and deeper into the situation, it appeared that she wasn't alone in her experience. This TikTok predates the blueberry video by one day and shows an avocado that looks entirely normal. When it is cut and squished, however, it's immediately obvious that it's not acting the way a regular avocado would. Aside from holding its shape, it doesn't even leave any residue on the person's hands as they manipulate it. This one goes back even further to the end of May and shows a watermelon that has been affected by the phenomenon, an entirely different fruit that exhibits the same rubbery, unpleasant texture.
I can't believe I got one. I got a rubbery watermelon. The texture is so weird. Like, you gotta bend it so far before it will break.
There have also been several instances of watermelons looking normal on the outside, but being completely liquefied and rotten on the inside.
This is what I have for a melon. The melon
shell is strong. Look at that. This is what I got for melon, you guys. Look at that. The rinds. Look at the melon rind.
We were even able to find these TikToks that were posted in August and December 2023 that show a dubious, rubbery fish fillet. On camera, with no cuts or edits, we see someone squeeze the fish into a soggy mass before running it under the sink and taking on its original shape. That's not normal. Speaking of not normal, just take a few seconds to look at this chicken. Just what the hell is going on here?
I've never seen this. Is this lab made? What do y'all think, TikTok?
And that's not even the end of this rabbit hole. Bananas, celery, onions, and more have shown the same characteristics. All around America, people are noticing something strange and rushing to TikTok to report their findings.
So I got this watermelon at Walmart, and I like to rinse my watermelon before I cut it, and it's like peeling. Does anybody has problems with their watermelon like this?
For those of you who have done your part to expose this conspiracy, thank you. The more we uncover and bring to light, the closer we get to the truth. Now, speaking of the truth, what's going on with all of this food? Are we being played? Is someone trying to normalize unnatural food? We obviously can't confirm or deny that idea, but we can share what we were able to find regarding the situation. First, let's dig into the rubbery fruits. According to various comments as well as sources across the internet, while fruit having the kind of textures shown in these videos is relatively uncommon, it's not completely unheard of. When the fruit was picked, how it was stored, and the method of transportation can all contribute to a change in texture that could only be described as upsetting. The main example we were able to find relates to avocados specifically, but it seems to apply to other fruits as well. When these products are collected before the proper ripeness, stored in hot conditions, and then transported to stores on a refrigerated truck, what allegedly happens is that the avocado loses all of its moisture and is then preserved in that state for an extended period due to the temperatures it is exposed to on the way to stores. We have no way of testing this theory for ourselves, but it makes sense scientifically. Whether or not this process would actually result in avocados with the texture of pencil erasers is beyond us. Now, when it comes to the watermelons that look fine but are rotten on the inside, we were able to dig up something particularly juicy, if you'll excuse the pun. In the farming of modern fruits and vegetables, there is a relatively new protective coating that is being used to extend freshness and prevent spoilage. It's called Apeel, and it seems we aren't the only people who enjoy a good pun. Apeel works by adding an invisible, edible, and reportedly harmless peel or extra layer to the products it is applied to. Unfortunately, that extra layer prevents the telltale signs of rot and decay, which can lead to the situations in these TikToks. Healthy outsides and rotten insides. The interesting twist here is that Apeel, while privately owned and operated, does receive funding from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Bill Gates' contributions and philanthropy have been well documented, but is it a little bit suspicious that one of the richest men in the world is tied to something so upsetting? We definitely think so. Apeel's mission statement is entirely wholesome, to prevent food waste and protect farmers' interests. However, it seems that they might not have done their due diligence. While Apeel has stated the safety of the ingredients in its product, no studies have been conducted on the effects it might have on humans or the environments it's used in. That seems like maybe the first thing you do before rolling out this kind of far-reaching food protectant, but what do we know, right? Moving on to the strange meats, we found some clues that are even more disturbing. Let's go back to that stringy, unsettling chicken breast. We were able to find evidence that the cause of that fibrous appearance is due to a muscle growth abnormality that can occur in 5 to 7% of broiler chickens, which are chickens grown for their meat. The abnormality leads to a phenomenon called spaghetti meat, which is what was presented in those TikToks. According to several sources, this affected meat is still safe to eat, although its flavor, texture, and nutritional value will be different from unaffected meat. As far as what causes the muscle abnormality in the first place, no one really knows, or at least they say they don't know. If we had to hazard a guess, we would think that some kind of growth hormones being used to create bigger, more meaty chickens is causing their muscles to either grow too fast or just differently on a cellular level, leading to this strange meat. Again, we aren't scientists, but this seems pretty plausible. Unfortunately, for all of the answers we were able to find and the connections we were able to make, there are still so many questions surrounding the fake food phenomenon. Is this prepping us for something bigger? Something like lab-grown 3D printed food that could possibly replace what we've eaten our whole lives? That's definitely scary to think about. And steps have already been taken towards mass production of lab-grown meat.
Hey, good morning, George. Americans ate 75 billion pounds of red meat and chicken last year. But what if some of that meat was not raised on farms, but instead of high-tech facilities? Scientists say that could be good for the environment and your health, and soon it could be on menus and store shelves.
This morning, the USDA has approved cell-cultivated meat to be sold to the public for the first time.
So that's where it all starts, just a few cells.
2 cultivated meat producers now getting the green light to begin commercially selling their chicken, not raised on a farm, but in a facility. The meat is grown using real animal cells and large bioreactors fed with nutrients. I recently got a tour of California-based Upside Foods, the nation's first and largest cultivated meat producer.
You're making chicken in there.
Yeah, so if you look at this is approximately a 200+ liter tank. And we take cells from a chicken or an egg. It takes 2 weeks to grow the equivalent of 1 chicken, 1,000 chickens, or 100,000 chickens.
So you're saying in this factory you can make more meat faster and cleaner than an average farmer?
Well, ultimately, yes.
The company says cell-cultivated meat could help feed the world's booming population using a fraction of the land and water of animal farming and help reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Many experts say more study is needed.
I got to try this cell-cultivated chicken at the facility in California, guys. I got to say the texture was a little bit different, but it did taste like chicken. The company says they hope to get it on restaurant menus in the next few weeks, then maybe on store shelves in the next 5 years, and dozens of startup companies are getting in on the game, guys.
You mentioned the texture, so is it more like tofu?
You know, George, it was pretty close to chicken, but maybe a little bit rubberier. You have to give it a try for yourself. A restaurant in California is going to roll it out next month.
Would you guys try it?
I think I would. I do like the reduction in animal cruelty, but we'll see.
Rubbery didn't sell me. I've been thinking about becoming a vegetarian.
For now, all we can do is stay vigilant, check our food, and pay attention to what is happening around us. You never know when they'll change something right under our noses. See you in the next one.